welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another UFC fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the full card of fights for UFC Fight Night, Ulberg versus Reyes. So without further ado, let's just get into things. All right, let me scroll on down. I know the audio was a little bit messed up at the start, but yeah, it is what it is. You can see, you guys got two eyes to see, two ears to hear. Well, at least most of y'all. But yeah. Now to the first fight. We have in the welterweight division, we got Jonathan Micallef versus Elliot. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence. Jonathan Micallef to beat Elliot. And Elliot, prior to his last fight was looking like a very promising prospect. And he can obviously turn that around. Like, losses happen, he can turn around. So, again, you can't just completely overwrite him. But I do feel like Micallef is the right side here. Like, he should be the favorite. He should win. But, again, still very early in both these guys' career. And Elliot had his lesson. He can turn around. And, yeah, this is definitely a tough matchup for him. Like, in regards to he got trained for. He can make it look easy, but as far as we know, on paper, this should be a really tough fight between two very promising fighters in this weight class. But I gotta go Micallef here. Elliot seemed to struggle a lot with a grappler. And Micallef at points, like when I looked at his fights prior to UFC, I didn't really like his striking a lot. I still don't really love his striking, but it has evolved a whole lot. It really looks like a night and day difference than improvement. Not to say he's some super elite striker yet, but it's definitely much better than it used to be. And he looked pretty sharp in his last fight with his striking. And his grappling always looks sharp as well. But yeah, going against Elliot's last fight, he struggled with a grappler. And I think Micallef's a better fighter than the last guy who beat him, in my opinion, based on what I've seen from them. And yeah, I'm going to say Micallef decision here. I think Elliot will be savvy on the ground and not get finished. And also I think he'll learn from his last fight, be a little bit more prepared here. But I think he's fighting a better opponent that brings some of the skills and presents them in a better way. So I got to go Micallef here to get the job done by decision. So in this one, I got Jonathan Micallef via decision. Now to the next fight we have in the middleweight division, we got Petroski versus Rowston. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence Petroski to beat Rowston. Yeah, Rowston made some improvements, but it's not like he really went in there with a grappler to see these great improvements. So I can't really say, oh, his grappling has improved. He could say he trained with this. He could say he's the most well-rounded guy at this gym and all this, that. And even if that is true, that don't really mean to always translate to your fight. You might be the hardest hitting guy in your gym, but you might be a 5 and 10 as a pro. You might be this and that, but how does it transfer? And last time before the wrestler in Torres Finney, he got grappled up to 15 minutes. And Petroski, I think, is a better fighter than Torres Finney, especially the Finney that beat Rowston. I'm pretty sure Rowston got better. Finney got better. But yeah, Rowston's live here. I'm not sleeping on no more. There's probably really going to be a fight I'm just not going to even look to invest in at all. Maybe a live bet, maybe. But yeah, I got to go Petroski because Rowston, to me, has not shown me that he addressed that grab department. He fought a really one-dimensional striker, and he TKO'd him in his Contender Series fight. Now he's fighting a guy Petroski who's, his striking has been improving, his defense has improved, his cardio has improved. He always is a very big, strong wrestler. But yeah, I gotta go Petroski here decision. I don't think it's gonna be an easy fight, but I do think that Petroski can probably get a couple takedowns and ground out some time on him and get a decision victory over Rowston here. So in this one, I got Petroski via decision. Now to our next fight we have in the heavyweight division, we got Sutherland versus Justin Tafa. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going first round. Well, I already said. Well, I'm going Justin Tafa, and I'm going to say first round TKO Justin Tafa. Sutherland definitely got more momentum, but what does that momentum really build off? Nothing. I think it's a guy like 5 and 4 who built like a Teletubby. Well, they all built like Teletubbies, but really built like a Teletubby, double stuffed Teletubby. And he went to a decision with him. Finished another 6 and 10 Teletubby. Like he's been fighting some real mediocre competition as far as what he's beaten. So Sutherland's a big guy. I mean, his power can't be too crazy. He's not putting away these cans as consistently as he should be. So, I mean, being big as he is, you should expect some power, and he should have some power. But, again, he hasn't even been doing what he's supposed to do against the cans he's been fighting for the most part. I'm not saying for the most part, but to the degree that he should be doing what should have been doing against the local competition that he's been fighting, is what I'm saying. But yeah, Tafa might be wise. He's definitely not going, or he's definitely where he is at, and he's not going any further. But I do think he should be able to beat guys like Sutherland, who's primarily a striker, hasn't really shown that great of offensive grappling, no great takedown, no great top control, no great submissions. So I think, yeah, Tafa should be able to put him away. I'm going to say first round TKO for Tafa. And also, being where this fight's taking place, I think Tafa's going to be a little bit more motivated and probably be the beat guy like Sutherland. I don't think Sutherland has shown to really be at this level. Not to say that Tafa is at such a high level. It's just like, I can see if Sutherland had a clear path, like, oh, he beat this guy. He became the LFA champion. He was the Cage Fury champion. He beat this guy who was like 15 and 10. Oh, he beat this guy who was just in the UFC who went 2 and 5, but he had like 2 good wins, or 2 and 4, or maybe a guy who went 4 and 4 and got cut from the UFC, or maybe a guy who went 3 and 1, 3 and 2 in the UFC and got cut from the UFC. He beat that guy, like knocked him out, press him like, but you can't really draw from any of his wins. You can kind of draw a little bit from his losses, a little bit. But even then, his losses aren't even to guys that are exactly UFC level. Matter of fact, none of the guys he even fought have been UFC level. Slim Trabelsi might advance to UFC level, but other guys, like I think he lost, or the other guys lost to, yeah, probably would not be even decent UFC heavyweights, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm too much yapping. Sutherland just has not shown me the skill or experience or the level yet. Tafa has. I mean, Tafa has been fighting this level. Striking battle, gotta go with Tafa in the striking battle versus a guy who's not even a UFC level striker. So in this one, I got Justin Tafa via first round TKO. Now to the next fight we have in the heavyweight division, we got Brando Pericic versus Elisha Ellison. And why is this even garbage fight even on the card? Why is this garbage fight on this card? This fight should be in a back alley or something. This fight should be at a bowling alley. Like, what's going on? I'm not even respect enough to even really dig deep. Elijah Ellison, he's black. Pick him. Brandon Pericic, didn't really like his record. Don't like Ellison record, but yeah. Ellison first round TKO. If he loses, he loses. I really don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Let me look at the camera. I do not care. You want some deep diving on this? You want some actual analysis on that? I do not care. If you care, boo. Next fight we have in the lightweight division. Did I even give a compliment? Like, I really don't care. I don't care about the compliment. I don't care about the fight. Why is this garbage fight even on the UFC? I know they in this guy's neck of the woods and whatnot, and they want to give him some love or something. He probably sucked somebody's dick or something. One of their main fighters on his card or something. One of their boyfriends or something. But goddamn, this fight had no business being on the card. All right, next fight we got in the lightweight division. We got James Mullarkey versus Rolando Bedoya. Going Mullarkey here. Bedoya seems like, he's a real solid fighter, but he hasn't really shown no great offensive grappling, no great defensive grappling. Mullarkey is a much more well-rounded fighter. And also, Bedoya hasn't really shown to be a big power puncher either. I feel like with Mullarkey, he loses to better fighters, like more elite fighters. He loses to fighters that can chin him. And Bedoya, I don't feel like he's more technical than him in any department. He is younger. He has fought more recently. But, again, I haven't seen the full package. Like I said, he's a decent striker. He can bring up forward pressure. And, he's a decent overall fighter. But as far as, grappling, that's still very much a question mark. And Mullarkey will definitely test him there. And the main concern I would have for Mullarkey, I'm not going to go like, lock confidence, nothing with Mullarkey. This is low confidence very much. Mullarkey probably really should be cut from UFC at this point, but I guess he's getting a chance to fight because it's, in that neck of the woods. And again, Bedoya is very live here, but I go with Mullarkey here. I just don't really feel like Bedoya has, the clearest path to victory necessarily. And Mullarkey just a very savvy, very technical guy and very well-rounded and should be able to mix it up and beat him by decision. But this fight probably be close, probably be a split decision type of thing. But lean into the more experienced, more well-rounded fighter in Mullarkey to get it done. So in this one, I got Jamie Mullarkey via decision. Now for the next fight we have in the bantamweight division, we got Luana Carolina versus Michelle Montague. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence Luana Carolina to beat Michelle Montague. And yeah, Montague seems like a promising fighter. I think, is she undefeated? I think she is 6-0. But who has she really fought? Let me look at it. Let me pull up this. Let me slow down. Let me pull up this tape again. So Montague is fresh face in the UFC. She's getting a fresh start in the UFC. She's fighting her neck of woods. Good for her. But look at the age difference. She's pretty much the same age as Carolina. And Carolina has been in the UFC and fought much better competition and is looking the best she's ever looked in her career. And probably the best win streak she's ever been in the UFC. And yeah, she got a 2-inch height advantage, same reach. But Carolina has been fighting much better competition. I think you might say Montague should have the biggest advantages in the grappling department. But when I looked at her grappling, I don't think it was that impressive or nothing. Again, she just has not been fighting the best competition. Carolina has been fighting better competition. And Carolina fighting that better competition has shown a good takedown offense. So I think she could address the grappling Montague. I think she'll be the more active striker, and I think she's the more technical striker of the two. And definitely the far more experienced of the two. And she's not giving up a whole lot of age. She's only giving up probably a couple months of age. Probably like 4 or 5 months of age. So the age ain't even a factor. And it's not like Carolina has took so much damage. So, yeah, I got to go Carolina here to get it done. But, hometown might play a factor. Or home country might play a factor. But I got to go Carolina. I think I favor experience here. She has like an 82% takedown defense ratio. So I think she'll be doing a good job if Montague wants to go there. And if anything, that might just slow Montague down. And then once she starts slowing down, Carolina will start picking up the pace on striking and be able to create a gap. But, yeah, going with the more experienced Carolina here. Use her takedown defense and be the better striker. So in this one, I have Luana Carolina via decision. Yeah. Now in our next fight, we have in the bantamweight division, we got Kobe Thicknesse versus Josiah Musasa. And how do I feel about this one right here is I'm going low confidence Josias Musasa to beat Kobe Thicknesse. So Musasa got caught in his last fight. I think he's a promising talent. Do I think he'll go all the way? I don't know. Probably not. But I'll say he'll beat Thicknesse. I don't feel like Thicknesse is all that impressive. He has a good war-round skill set. He's trained hard. He's been in the game for a long time, since a youngin. But I don't give him like a super high ceiling. But I feel like Musasa has a higher ceiling if he can fully tap into all of his abilities and stuff and really evolve his fight. But I feel like Thicknesse, again, he could probably go around and stick in the UFC for some years and be a decent fighter. But I don't really feel like he has a particular high ceiling. But yeah, Musasa, I think beat a very promising Georgian fighter on the Contender Series. Very close fight, could have went either way, but I think he fought a promising fighter on there. And then the last fight, he probably won a fight that probably should have been, probably thought was a little bit of walkover. Underestimated his opponent. His opponent came in and caught him, with some very unorthodox strikes. I don't feel like Thicknesse is so unorthodox, and I feel like Thicknesse will have issues trying to mix in the grapples. I feel like Musasa will be the bigger, strong guy here, be the stuff to take down the Thicknesse, and be the pressure Thicknesse and land heavier shots on Thicknesse over the course of the fight. Close competitive fight, but I think Musasa will be the pressuring fighter. I think he'll be one landing the heavier shots more consistently, and the more effective shots. And yeah, I think he'll be able to address the grappling and beat Thicknesse by decision here. But yeah, close competitive fight, but I'm going with the underdog Musasa here. So in this one, I got Josias Musasa via decision. Now to the next fight we have in the light heavyweight division, we got Navajo Stirling versus Rodolfo Bellato. And how do I feel about this one right here is I'm going average confidence Navajo Stirling to beat Rodolfo Bellato. So yeah, Bellato never had the best strike. It's improving. He got some power. He's a strong guy. But I think Stirling could definitely address the grappling Bellato. And Bellato has a very suspect chin, and he's coming off a knockout loss. So I expect his chin to be even more susceptible this time. But I'm going to say second round. Stirling doesn't seem to be that guy that just gets you out there like he's supposed to. It seems kind of like a slow cook. So I'm going to say like a second round. Really should be a first round where he should be at right now. But again, he's more of a slow cooker. So I would say second round TKO for Stirling. But yeah, Bellato has the best chin. Stirling's a much more technical striker, but again, he's more of a slow cooker. I think he'll be able to address the grappling, pick his shots, and eventually be able to find those shots real clean, real flush, and put Bellato out in the second round. So in this one, I have Navajo Stirling via second round TKO. All right, now to our next fight, we have a couple more fights left. But next fight we have in the women's strawweight division, we got Loma Lookboonmee versus Alexia Thainara. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going, where should I go? Average, why not? Prove me wrong, why not? Average confidence, Loma Lookboonmee to beat Alexia Thainara. Yeah, I just feel like Loma Lookboonmee just a much more technical fighter. Thainara is very aggressive. She does got power, but it's not really like knockout power. Like you feel it power, it can move you. But she's not really that fighter that's going to really drop you too much or put you out with the one-hit quitter type thing. She's more of just an aggressive, probably heavy-handed fighter, but not like a really drop or knock you out, but more kind of like move you type of power. And I don't think that's enough for Lookboonmee. And Thainara is really aggressive and stuff, but again, I don't feel like her technique in any particular department is that good. And I don't feel like the combination of it is particularly that good either. And this is a big step up in competition. Like, Thainara will make it interesting, but I think Loma Lookboonmee's technique is going to prevail ultimately in this fight. And I think she's going to be able to break Thainara down and beat her by decision. But probably a close fight nonetheless. But I just think, again, technique will prevail here. Technique and experience. And both those are very firmly on Lookboonmee's side. I think the only advantage I can say Thainara purely is grappling. Strength and grappling. But it's not like, again, she hasn't really done that at an elite level yet. And at a lot of points, her grappling was her weaker area in the fight she's been going into. I think she'll probably try to use it as a strength in this one, but I think, again, Lookboonmee has very good balance. She's been in with a lot of grapplers. Her own grappling hasn't been proven a lot. And really, when we got her loss, it really wasn't by grappling. She just fought a more experienced striker, and that's not Thainara in this case. This time, Lookboonmee is a more experienced fighter. She's probably the younger fighter, too. So she's a little bit older. This is like the first time. She's getting older in the sport. But yeah, I'm favoring experience and technique, and that's on Lookboonmee's side. So in this one, I got Loma Lookboonmee via decision. Now, to our next fight we have in the lightweight division, we got Tom Nolan versus Charlie Campbell. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence Tom Nolan to beat Charlie Campbell. And Charlie Campbell is extremely live, but I think the biggest thing against him is, where are they fighting? Like, activity and where they're fighting. Or I don't know. Am I even doing right there in Australia or New Zealand? Matter of fact, I don't care too much. Let me stop saying that hometown name. I'm just going on Nolan based on momentum and UFC fights, UFC experience, even though they fought a lot of the same opponents. If anything, Charlie Campbell's most recent loss was to the guy, I'm forgetting his name right now, but that guy's doing very well in the lightweight division. Like, he was about to finish him, and then he got caught. That guy came to the UFC. I think he had a couple little bumps there at the beginning of the UFC run, or maybe one bump, maybe not even a single bump. But anyway, what he's doing right now, he's on a tear right now in the lightweight division. So that's Charlie Campbell's last loss to a guy that's doing very well for himself in the lightweight division. Tom Nolan lost to a guy who's about to get cut for the UFC. So it's a big difference. And then they forced him a guys debating, and Charlie Campbell fought Alex Reyes, Dominic Reyes' brother, and knocked him out, Nolan for him, and took him to a decision. So a lot of parallels, but I'm just going Nolan based off recency, but no confidence at all. I feel like they parallel each other a lot. I feel like they have similar builds. Maybe Nolan's a little bit taller. Well, he's 3 inches tall, so he's a lot taller. But it's not like Charlie Campbell's a big one-hit puncher. And Nolan did show ability to mix it up in his last fight. So I think that ability to mix up will help him a lot. The length will help him a lot. Close fight, but Nolan be able to edge it slightly. So in this one, I got Tom Nolan via decision. Now the next fight we have in the welterweight division, we got Jake Matthews versus Neil Magny. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going average confidence, Jake Matthews to beat Neil Magny. Yeah, I think based off his last performance, his last performance and plenty of his other performance, but particularly his last performance, show that growth, show that experience. And it's not like Neil Magny has really evolved so much in the grappling. And I think Matthews is sitting right in his prime. Magny's probably, 38. So 31 smack dab in your prime. Neil Magny, close to pushing 40. Got to go with Matthews. And also where they're fighting at. I think Jack Matthews will continue to show that growth in the grappling and the ability to mix it up with his striking, get Magny to the ground. I think he should have a big advantage there. And I'm going to say, it probably be a decision, but I'll say second round submission for Matthews. So in this one, I got Jake Matthews via decision. I said second round submission, I said decision. But Jake Matthews via second round submission. Next fight we have in the featherweight division, we got Jack Jenkins versus Ramon Taveras. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going average confidence, Jack Jenkins to beat Ramon Taveras. And it's going to be straight to the point. Ramon Taveras is a pretty one-dimensional fighter. He has some power. He has some decent boxes, but again, nothing super elite and pretty one-dimensional. Again, this is more so a handsy fighter. Jack Jenkins got hands and kicks. I would say Taveras is the better boxer, but a good way to beat boxers is by taking away their legs, and Jack Jenkins has some of the best kicks in the game, pound for pound. So I definitely think he'll look to do that. I definitely think he'll have good defense, so he's not going to get caught by those big power of Taveras with his boxing. And then just dissect him with the kicks and, to the body, to the leg, and be able to chew him up. And I'm going to say like a second round TKO, probably like a leg kick TKO, probably going to break his leg with a leg kick. So I think he already had like 2 or 3 wins by breaking somebody's leg with a leg kick. And this will be another leg to his roster. So in this, and I'm going to say, yeah, second round TKO. So in this one, I got Jack Jenkins via second round TKO. Now for the next fight we have in the light heavyweight division, we got Jimmy Crute versus Ivan Erslan. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going average confidence, Jimmy Crute to beat Ivan Erslan. Yeah, I feel like Jimmy Crute's the more well-rounded fighter. I think he's coming into his own a bit. Still, yeah, I'm not gonna get all of that. I think he's the more well-rounded fighter, more experienced UFC fighter, and he's gonna be very hungry. He's gonna mix it up, and I think he's gonna beat Erslan by decision here. Mix up on the feet, get the takedowns, and just outwork Erslan here to a decision. But Erslan gonna be game. He's gonna be scrappy, but I think Crute's gonna be able to just outwork him and mix it up, and beat him by decision here. So in this one, I got Jimmy Crute via decision. Now to our co-main event. I don't know how this is a co-main event. I really don't. But yeah, we have in this fight in the light heavyweight division, we got Junior Tafa versus Ibo Aslan. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence Ibo Aslan to beat Junior Tafa. Yeah, low confidence him to beat him. A striking battle. But I feel like anybody can really grapple Tafa. Like, you don't really have to be some elite grappler to grapple Tafa. So I feel like Aslan, if he decided to mix up the grappling, he could have success here. He definitely has the better gas tank, definitely more well-rounded. Tafa just a one-dimensional striker. Got a lot of power. And, yeah, a lot of power. Not super technical at all. And not given the fact, not even super technical, not technical. I'm not going to say, I wouldn't even really classify him as a technical striker. He has a striking background. And that's it. But no elite striking. Cardio is even quite he could strike the whole fight and his cardio is still gonna be questionable. So yeah, I don't know how to feel about him. But yeah, Ibo Aslan should at least be better than that. It's not like Tafa can come out here with some super technical fight or nothing. He don't come out there looking for big shots to put him out, and that's it. He not come out here shooting no takedowns, level changing nothing. He not come out here sticking the jab and moving and setting up shots. Now he can come out here looking for big shots. So is Ibo Aslan. But I think if Ibo Aslan does feel some threat, he could mix up the takedown. So he could, probably bait him. Again, what does Tafa have? Like, what does he have? He has a striking background, but his striking is not really elite at all. He got no cardio, even when he just strike. Like, I can see you come from strike, you better at least be able to strike for like 20 rounds because that's all you do. You don't have no IQ. You don't have this. You don't have that. I gotta go Aslan. I think Aslan at least has a glimmer of IQ. He has a glimmer of something other than striking. On paper, Tafa should be the better striker, but I think Aslan couldn't win in the first, second, or third. Where I feel like Tafa, he got to get it done at the distance. So going Aslan here. I'm gonna say like second round TKO. Probably go shoot a takedown, and once Tafa gets on his back, he probably not gonna be able to do nothing, and Aslan could just start welling on him and get a second round TKO. So in this one, I got Ibo Aslan via second round TKO. Now to our main event, we have in the light heavyweight division, we got Carlos Uberg versus Dominic Reyes. And how do I feel about this one right here is I'm going low confidence Carlos Uberg to beat Dominic Reyes. So yeah, Dominic Reyes is back on a streak. I don't think he's so willing to give it up. He probably might win this one, but I'll go Uberg here. Reyes still has not shown the ability to mix it up. I think does have a brown belt in BJJ or something. A pretty respectable level of BJJ. And I have seen it when he has grappled, but it don't really seem like he has a path to get it to the ground outside of dropping his opponents. And as far as offensive takedowns have never been good. So all you gonna have is striking. Uberg, if anything, I feel like Uberg low-key has better takedown offense than Reyes. But Reyes does have the better grappling than him. But it'd be interesting to see if that plays a factor in this fight at all on either side. But what I'm trying to get to is that this is going to be primarily a striking fight, especially on paper. Again, fights, anything can happen in a fight. Somebody could just been training with a singlet the whole camp and mix it up. But I'm pretty sure this going 99% chance is going to be not pure striking, but 99% chance is that 99% of this fight is going to be striking, if not more. 99% to 100% of this fight is going to be striking. And I got to go with the guy who has the more experience striking. And it's not like Reyes, when you look at his losses, most of his losses have come to high-level strikers. Like Blachowicz, who else he lost to? Jerry Prohaska. I don't know, but yeah, most of his losses haven't been him getting taken down and submitted. His losses have been him getting knocked out. And yes, he's back on a tear, but I think Uberg's still the more technical striker, and I think he's gonna be to draw Reyes into his counters better than Reyes is gonna draw him into his counters. And I think Uberg has, he learned his lesson from his loss in the UFC where he blew his wad and he got caught. And yeah, and even his last fight, he won, but he did what he had to do. He didn't take any unnecessary risks. And I feel like that's the best way to beat Reyes. Reyes' best shot is really counter shots, like rolling counters. So Uberg, with his length and his speed, he should be the fast fighter. He should be the more technical guy. And he's not going to be the guy going out there trying to force something to happen. And by him being the quicker, sharper guy, probably the better kicking game, it's going to draw Reyes into his counters. And Uberg better be able to play the counter game and draw Reyes to his counters. And, attack the body very well. That's been a weak spot for Reyes. Attack the legs, set up the body kicks, get Reyes to drop his hand, get Reyes a little bit frustrated. Reyes get frustrated. He gets very active, draw him to the counter, drop him, finish him off. And I'm going to say second round TKO for Carlos Uberg. So in this one, I got Carlos Uberg via second round TKO. And so that concludes my fight predictions for the four-card fights for UFC Fight Night, Ulberg versus Reyes. And as always, thanks for watching. Peace.